I feel like the biggest question here is, do we really need another fucking GI Joe movie? And my answer is hell yeah, we need another GI Joe movie, man. Listen, I, I this is just me, y'all. I love the GI Joe movies. I do, man. I love all three movies, the live action ones. I love all three movies for different reasons. These movies, with the exception of the first two, could all easily be standalone films. Even the third one being like a prequel to Snake Eyes' origin story, which was actually pretty fucking solid. But all of these movies just pretty much go their own way, man. The first one, Stephen Summers, man, the guy behind The Mummy Returns, Deep Rising, never seen Odd Thomas, but he was behind that too. Van Helsing, you know what he does, man. He gives you diversity, he gives you popcorn entertainment, he gives you crazy, wacky CG that probably doesn't hold up as well today as it should. But man, like, yo, when I tell y'all, I'm never bored watching G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra, man. Channing Tatum, it's not his best performance. He's actually like really bad in certain scenes of that movie. But him as Duke, you buy it. Him and Marlon Wayans together. Marlon Wayans is Ripcord. Like, Marlon Wayans playing like a sidekick type of character in that first movie made me believe, like, yeah, he could have played Robin, especially at that point in his career, the age he was at the time when that movie was gonna come out. But him as Ripcord, you got some alumni from The Mummy. I could never pronounce that dude. I think his name was Adebisi in Oz. I could never pronounce that actor's name, man. But he's pretty funny in this shit. Brendan Fraser pops up at some point. Dennis Quaid, who's underused in this movie, in the first movie, man. But it's a wild, fun time, man. When they're running around those fucking Halo suits, them CG suits, man, that sequence is hilarious. Ray Park as Snake Eyes is a national treasure. And then you got the second movie, G.I. Joe Retaliation, which really dials down on the wacky, cartoonish aspect of it, and it just keeps things a little more grounded to the point where it's just like, man, it can't happen in real life, but I can believe this world more than I can the first movie, even though the second movie they take place in the same universe. The Rock was added to the second one. DJ Catrona, Bruce Willis was a good addition to that movie. And that fucking sequence on the mountain where Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow are fighting, I don't care what y'all say about the movie itself, that sequence is iconic for sure. It's one of the greatest sequences I've ever seen. Then you get to the Snake Eyes movie where it's really grounded and it's more of like this double cross movie. It turns into a revenge thriller on top of being or a revenge story on top of being an origin story. Henry Golding as Snake Eyes was badass. Andrew Koji as Storm Shadow. It was solid, man, because you got to see that Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow was homies. They were unlikely homies and heroes that that lost their way, and once Snake Eyes double crossed Storm Shadow and everybody else, Storm Shadow's just like, yo, it's up forever. Like, it's beef forever. You see why they have the relationship that they had. But as far as a new movie, hell yeah, man. Like, I wanted the spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Transformers Rise of the Beast, spoiler alert, when they did the ending for that movie and Anthony Ramos' character, I think his name was Noah, like when the dude from Dawn of the Dead gave him that business card and he flipped it and said G.I. Joe on the back of it, I was like, oh my god, this is the crossover I never knew I needed. But I think this is gonna be a reboot because Danny McBride, who pitched it to Paramount and has a script done for it, said that this is going to focus on Duke, his crew of Joes, going into this city of Springfield that is just secretly run by Cobra. And I don't know if they get trapped there. I don't know if they're trying to escape. I don't know if they're trying to fight. But the idea of it in the interview that they did with Danny McBride sounds pretty fucking cool, man. I'm not going to lie. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Danny McBride ruined Halloween, the Halloween movie, so I don't want to... This is a whole different property right now, man. So I'm going to trust Danny McBride. I know the humor is going to be there. The entertainment factor is probably going to be there. But a G.I. Joe movie, man, like right about now, it sounds good to me, man. Now I'm wondering just which Joes are we gonna see? Are we redoing? I mean, obviously Duke's gonna be there. Are we redoing Ripcord? Are we redoing Roadblock? Are we redoing what's her name? Scarlet. I like that actress too. The one Marlon Wayans kept flirting with. The chick that was in the Amityville Horror movie. She was cool. She had a fucking invisible hoodie when she was fighting Duke's ex-girlfriend. Yo, that first fucking G.I. Joe movie is pure cheesy gold, man. But I don't know, man. Are y'all excited for this or not? I know a lot of people probably... This news is probably going to go under the radar. Or it's going to be a lot of people that hear or see this news and they're probably just not going to give a fuck. But me, like, I'm entertained by all three of those movies, and I wanted the GI Joe crossover, and I knew the GI Joe. Like when I saw Transformers: Rise of the Beast, and Noah uses Mirage's armor to like basically make himself a fucking suit, and I remember watching that sequence in Transformers, and I was like, that looks really familiar. It looks a lot like the Halo suits from GI Joe: Rise of Cobra, and god damn it, if they didn't tie those two properties together, man, they got to bring the suits back. Like bring the suits back, but have it be better CG, better motion capture, whatever it is. Because if you watch that suit sequence with Marlon Wayans and Channing Tatum, man, it's cool, it's fun to watch. But sometimes when they're running, like they look very super cartoonish, like video game type of business right there, man. But I'm curious as to who's going to direct this. Danny McBride didn't really get into detail with the cast. He said there's some people I want to attach to this I can't speak on, but I want to know who you cast as the Joes is really important, and who you have in the director's chair of the next GI Joe movie is super important. Because I feel like I don't know, like as far as box office goes, how well these movies did. They made 3 of them, so I don't know, man. I know I'm curious to see it. I'm curious to see a rebooted take. I was cool if they did a follow up to shit. What was the second one called? GI Joe Retaliation. Did I forget just that fast? I was cool with a sequel to Retaliation. I was cool with a follow up to the Snake Eyes origin story, man. And that, let me tell you about that origin story, man. That shit, the sword fight and like the fight sequences and the sword fighting sequences and that highway sequence with the motorcycles and the big ass truck that Snake Eyes is fighting on, man. Yo, I'm telling y'all, man, all the movies vary in quality, but if you just want to have fun and kind of turn your brain off a little bit, the GI Joe movies are just really entertaining for me, man. But they all have different tones of them entirely. But I'm ready for this, man. I don't know about y'all, but yeah, I had to say something about it because I, for one, am definitely looking forward to this shit for sure.